What was the vision behind Les Moutons?
Les Moutons. So Les Moutons was really just an experiment. It started as an experiment. We thought it would be funny to put dancers in a fat costume to begin with, because body image is so strong in the dance world, and so we thought, well, it might be interesting to just try to play with that, and so we put them in this big fat costume, and then little by little, the idea of sheep, of studying sheep, came about. I can't really tell you why or how. It just sort of happened. Often, when I create a show, I start with very little in the studio, and then ideas float around with the performers that I work with. It's often a very much collaborative effort, and little by little, the content takes shape. But it starts with sometimes a small idea, and so that was the case with Les Moutons. And then eventually we decided to go and observe real sheep, because we got stuck. We didn't know what to do with this sheep idea, and we thought, well, maybe we should go and have a look at real sheep, and that will maybe help us to figure out what to do next. So the sheep will maybe inform this process. So we went to have a look at real sheep, and then we started to come up with a lot of interesting ideas, and doing an installation with a sheep pen, and so the audience would be all around, and then we decided to try to recreate sheep behavior as realistically as possible, and trust that that would be enough. And so we spent a lot of time developing our own technique, our own sheep acting technique, and we decided that the piece would be silent, with no commentary, so no indication to the audience as to what this piece is about or why. Let the audience decide. We just focus on the technique, on the world of sheep, the atmosphere that comes when you're watching sheep at a petting zoo or at a farm. So it became a dual goal, if you will. One was to create sheep behavior as realistically as possible, and the other one was to recreate what the audience, the atmosphere that exists when people are watching animals or sheep. So we would try to recreate that for the audience, so that almost the audience forgets that they're watching real people acting like sheep. And that happens often in the show. So for a few moments, kids especially, but sometimes even adults, forget that they're watching actors. So it's quite curious that way. Anyway, so that and then we like a flock of flyers. The piece had a lot of success, and is still touring to this day.